wake up all the teachers now to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. No, 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 no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Laretha J. McCullough, and welcome to Unspoken Truths Trauma in the Black Community. This podcast is focused on revelation, healing, restoration, and resilience. Unspoken Truths is intended to serve as a safe space where we take back our voices and will no longer be required to remain silent. It's a space where we speak our truths and identify strategies that support healing, resilience, and restoration by breaking generational curses. So you may ask, how did we get here? Well, let me explain. In mid 2023, I began a doctoral journey focused on executive leadership that led me on an unknown trajectory. I had no idea where I would end up by the end of the program. A key requirement of the doctoral program was for candidates to successfully defend a dissertation based on a research topic that was aligned to leadership. When I began to explore dissertation topics, the long term impact of childhood trauma in the Black community came to mind. In 2018, I lost my biggest cheerleader, my mother. You see, my mom passed away at the age of 70. As I reflected on her childhood and her overall life after her death, I am confident that the adversities she experienced as a young child contributed significantly to her early death. By the age of 11, my mom had experienced several traumatic events: the death of two infant brothers. She witnessed domestic violence at the hands of her father. And shortly after her 11th birthday, she suffered the unimaginable death of my grandmother, who died from complications of childbirth at the age of 29. Later, she endured the incarceration of her father, and that was just the tip of the iceberg for what was to come. It is for this reason that this topic is near and dear to my heart. As I began to research the harmful effects of trauma in the Black community, numerous revelations surfaced. And given the lifelong consequences of childhood trauma, I felt compelled to share my knowledge. My objective here is to educate others on the adverse impact of trauma on our physical and mental well being. While I'll touch on the physical implications, the main focus here will be on mental health. Mental health is particularly important as the exacerbation of the COVID-19 pandemic intensified mental health issues, especially within the Black community. If this resonates with you, I welcome you to join me as I kick off season one. In the first season, I will begin with what I consider to be the basics. Adverse childhood experiences, also known as ACEs, we will talk about what it is and the negative impact to both physical and mental health later in life. Trauma, I will define what it is and how it affects our well being, our mind, our body, and our soul. Trauma in the Black community. Here, I will shift the focus to historical and intergenerational trauma as I highlight barriers to care, such as the stigmatization of mental illness, the lack of resources, distrust of healthcare providers, and more. Then we'll talk about the role of the Black church. So the Black church was formed back in the 1700s. And typically, the Black church is deemed as a first responder. And in some cases, the only responder to those who are seeking mental health advice and counsel. And more importantly, I will shed light on whether or not if clergy members are equipped to even provide that insight. I will also discuss healthy coping mechanisms as well as self care strategies to manage stress and trauma to enable us to live the life we deserve to live. I'll highlight the power of community involvement as it relates to trauma recovery by learning how support networks, shared spaces, and collaborative care, individuals and communities can heal together. Mental health issues can show up in ways which people may feel embarrassed about seeking support. As a result, discussing formal psychotherapy in the Black community is considered to be taboo. But formal mental health treatment is one of the most powerful tools for recovery. I'll shed light on what trauma informed care looks like and how therapy can help us reclaim our power and ultimately our livelihood. In this episode, survivors will share their journeys and their path to resilience and growth. Their stories will show that healing is possible and that no one has to walk this path alone. To be clear, the process of healing is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Therefore, tools such as cognitive behavioral therapy and self care techniques are truly important. From a healthy lifestyle to journaling and setting boundaries, I'll provide insight on practical tools to help you manage trauma that you may be experiencing throughout your daily lives. Last but not least, I'll wrap up with a season finale where we collectively celebrate resilience and restoration. We will review key lessons and look ahead to future conversations. Again, this is more than a podcast, it's a movement toward healing, resilience, and restoration. Don't get it twisted. It's important to understand that our voices matter, our healing matters, and collectively we can break generational curses and reclaim our voices and our power one person at a time. Join me next time as we continue speaking the unspoken and healing the unseen. Until then, stay strong, stay rooted, and remember, healing is how we break cycles one person at a time. Peace and blessings. Dr. Laretha J.